Beneath the calm, shimmering surface of America's most beloved lakes, a silent invasion is underway. It's not a sci-fi movie plot, it's a real-life ecological crisis. An army of alien fish is taking over, pushing native species to the brink of extinction and threatening to unravel entire ecosystems. These invaders aren't just a few rogue fish. We're talking about millions, a biological tsunami that is overflowing our waterways and costing us billions. Today, we're diving deep into this invasive species crisis, exploring how these fish got here, the devastating damage they're causing, and what, if anything, can be done to stop them. Let's begin with the poster child of aquatic invaders, the Asian carp. This isn't just one species, but a group of four bighead, silver, black, and grass carp. They were originally imported into the southern United States in the 1970s for a very specific purpose: to clean aquaculture ponds and wastewater treatment facilities. They were exceptional at their job, consuming vast amounts of plankton and vegetation. But then, the floods came. During major flooding events in the 1990s, particularly along the Mississippi River, these fish escaped their controlled environments and found their way into the wild. What happened next was an ecological explosion. The Mississippi River basin provided a superhighway for these carp to spread. With no natural predators in these new waters and an astonishing reproductive rate, a single female can lay over 1 million eggs a year. Their populations skyrocketed. Silver carp in particular became notorious for their bizarre and dangerous habit of leaping out of the water when startled by boat motors, turning a peaceful day on the river into a hazardous ordeal, with fish weighing up to 40 pounds becoming airborne projectiles. The real damage, however, happens below the surface. Bighead and silver carp are filter feeders, consuming massive quantities of plankton, the very foundation of the aquatic food web. By stripping the water of this essential food source, they starve out native fish species, including the young of popular sportfish like bass and crappie, as well as crucial commercial species like paddlefish and buffalo. Studies have shown that in some parts of the Illinois River, Asian carp now constitute over 90% of the total fish biomass. That means for every 10 pounds of fish in the river, 9 pounds are invaders. Now, their relentless march continues northward, toward the Great Lakes. This is the ultimate nightmare scenario for ecologists. The Great Lakes hold 20% of the world's surface fresh water and support a $7 billion a-year fishing industry. The introduction of Asian carp here could be catastrophic. To prevent this, a multi-billion-dollar effort is underway, centered around an electric barrier system in the Chicago area waterway system, designed to zap any fish that try to pass through. It's a high-tech last line of defense against an aquatic siege. But Asian carp are far from the only culprits. Let's travel to the Great Lakes themselves, where another invader has already wreaked havoc for decades: the sea lamprey. This primitive, eel-like creature is a true aquatic vampire. It latches onto large fish like trout, salmon, and walleye with its suction-cupped mouth lined with razor-sharp teeth, and then it drills a hole to feed on their blood and bodily fluids. A single sea lamprey can kill up to 40 pounds of fish in its lifetime. They are not native to the upper Great Lakes. They invaded from the Atlantic Ocean through man-made shipping canals, like the Welland Canal, which bypassed the natural barrier of Niagara Falls. By the 1940s and 50s, the sea lamprey population had exploded, decimating the native lake trout populations, which were the apex predators of the ecosystem. The once thriving commercial lake trout fishery in Lakes Huron and Michigan completely collapsed. This sent a domino effect through the food web. In response, US and Canadian authorities formed the Great Lakes Fishery Commission, which has waged a long and costly war against the lamprey. Their primary weapon is a chemical called a lampricide, which specifically targets and kills lamprey larvae in the streams where they spawn, with minimal impact on other organisms. This program has successfully reduced lamprey populations by over 90%, but it requires constant vigilance and funding, costing about $20 million annually. It's a battle that never truly ends. Now, let's head west, to the magnificent Columbia River Basin. Here, another invader is causing major problems: the northern pike, native to the Midwest and Canada. These large, aggressive predators are often called water wolves for their voracious appetite. They eat everything from smaller fish to frogs, and even small birds and mammals that venture too close to the water's edge. Northern pike were illegally introduced into parts of the Columbia River system, likely by anglers who wanted to create a new sport fishery, a practice known as bucket biology. This short-sighted and illegal act has had disastrous consequences. The pike have thrived, and they are now preying heavily on native salmon and steelhead populations, many of which are already endangered and the focus of massive, multi-billion-dollar recovery efforts. Imagine spending billions to restore salmon runs, only to have them devoured by an introduced predator. In one reservoir in Washington state, biologists found that northern pike were consuming hundreds of thousands of young salmon and steelhead each year. Agencies are now using extensive gill netting operations and even offering bounties to anglers to try and control the pike population before it spreads further downstream into the main arteries of the salmon migration routes, and the list goes on. The snakehead fish, native to Asia, gained notoriety when it was discovered in a Maryland pond in 2002, dubbed Frankenfish by the media for its ability to breathe air and survive on land for short periods. It's a top-tier predator that can devastate local fish populations. They likely got there through aquarium dumping or release from live food markets. Similarly, the round goby, a small but highly aggressive bottom dweller from the Black and Caspian Seas, arrived in the Great Lakes in the ballast water of transatlantic cargo ships. They reproduce rapidly, outcompete native bottom dwellers like sculpins for food and habitat, and even eat the eggs and young of sportfish like smallmouth bass. So, what is the common thread here? Human activity, whether through the construction of canals, the dumping of ballast water from ships, irresponsible aquaculture practices, or the thoughtless release of aquarium pets and live bait. We are the primary vector for these invasions. The economic toll is staggering. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service estimates that invasive species, including fish, plants, and other animals, cost the United States more than $120 billion in damages and control measures every single year. This includes damage to fisheries, agriculture, infrastructure, and the immense costs of monitoring and eradication programs. The ecological cost is even greater. Invasive species are the second leading cause of species extinction worldwide, right after habitat loss. They disrupt food webs, introduce diseases, and alter the very chemistry and structure of our aquatic environments. They represent a profound and lasting threat to biodiversity. So, what can be done? The first and most crucial step is prevention. Campaigns like Stop Aquatic Hitchhikers educate boaters and anglers on the importance of cleaning, draining, and drying their boats, trailers, and gear before moving between different bodies of water. This simple act can prevent the spread of invaders like zebra mussels and spiny water fleas, as well as fish larvae. Stricter regulations on ballast water, exchange for international shipping, and on the live food and aquarium trades are also essential. For invasions already underway, the options are more limited and far more expensive. They range from physical barriers, like the electric fence near Chicago, to chemical controls like the lampricides used in the Great Lakes, to biological controls which involve introducing a natural enemy of the invasive species, a method that carries its own set of risks. In many cases, the goal shifts from eradication, which is often impossible, to control and containment. This is a complex, ongoing battle for the health of our nation's waters. It requires scientific innovation, international cooperation, massive financial investment, and, most importantly, public awareness and responsibility. The fate of our native fisheries and the delicate balance of our lakes and rivers depend on it. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and share.